Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is Spooky Lechuga, and today I wanted to talk about the reasons why you should play this game. But first, real quick, before we get into any of the, my points, I just wanted to say thank you guys for supporting me, but also I've been getting a lot more viewers of people that aren't subscribed. It's been like 99.8% or something crazy. So, for those 0.2%, thank you guys for subbing and watching my content. As for the rest of you, I also appreciate that you're watching my content, but if you don't mind giving me a subscription, putting on the bell, leaving a nice comment or a mean comment if you really don't like the video, go for it. By all means, it would be nice to just, all around see the support and the kind of analytics of it and just learn whether or not what I'm doing is good or bad and all that fun stuff. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for stopping by and just supporting me. Let's go ahead and get to the video content, right? So, why should you play this game? First off, I honestly, it's just not as hardcore as Tarkov. I love Tarkov. I've been playing since the alpha. I love the idea of how hardcore that game is, but it's also a really punishing game, I've played back when Factory was the smallest it's ever been, when Customs was the smallest ever was. There was no expansions to anything. It was really small, like little narrow gaps in the map that are now like open. And it was a fun idea, but I'm personally just not as invested into that kind of style of gameplay. As fun as it is, and the idea that like you want to try to get out and survive, there is a layer of like being scared going into matches because you could just get one tapped and you're gone. One shot to the face and that's it, right? That is not the case in this game. You can't just get one shot unless it's by a sniper rifle and they have the right ammo to one tap you in the face, right? And so it just all comes down to just how it comes out, like how the gunplay and time to kills end up working, and the mechanics of the game, right? So there are similar mechanics, like they did bring in the fact that you can have like leg fractures, that you can have bleeds, that you can have your arms break and stuff, but they're small debuffs compared to Tarkov, where Tarkov you could have a heavy bleed and actually bleed out and just die. In this game, if you bleed, you'll bleed down to 1 HP and the bleeds will continue, but you won't die from the bleed. You'll actually be able to just keep running around. Now, I mean, take care of it, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not going to kill you, right? It's a mechanic, but it's not going to be something that instantly, once you're down to 1 HP, you're just gone. Leg fractures and arm fractures just usually changes how fast you can use items or how fast I think you can run a little bit. It doesn't really change that much. But it also does provide a debuff where you get blurry vision for fractures. So usually painkillers or having, surgical kits on you ends up being like the king way to play the game. And I mean, everyone does it now. Like once you play the game and you learn that, all you have to do is put on a couple of those really cheap surgical kits. If you're brand new to the game, you're set, man. Just anytime you get into a gunfight, as long as you know you've got some distance and some cover, heal yourself up real quick before getting back into that fight. It takes a little bit of getting used to, because in something like Tarkov where you don't necessarily want to do that while still in a gunfight, you do need to do it more or less in this game. You want to be at the top of your game when you're coming around trying to have a gunfight with somebody. The time to kill is too quick to worry about that. And while you may not get one shot, like I said earlier, in the head, unless it's a sniper rifle with the best ammo, still the time to kills are very, very quick in this game. Faster than you can blink on some of the guns. So you want to take care of yourself so that doesn't even happen anywhere you get shot. They would still have to be headshots and stuff. So yes, and speaking of that, time to kill and gunplay of this game actually feels pretty similar to Call of Duty. So if you're a fan of Call of Duty, you at least like the way that it feels with the time to kills of those games. Not in recent games, more or less like something like the older Call of Duty titles where everyone was getting, killed in like 3 shots usually. That is what it kind of feels like now, depending on the weapons you use, because there are meta weapons and there's those that are just cheap weapons that aren't going to be doing as good, but it's a lot of fun. Like the gunplay feels good in this game, like the time to kill feels good. It feels like you should like take somebody out that quick, you know? And so it just has a fast-paced nature to it. So if you like Call of Duty and how fast-paced it can be, this is more arcadey than most of the other extraction shooters that I've seen. So I think it's worth at least trying it out for yourself to see how you feel about it, if you like it or not. I personally prefer like a time to kill of a Call of Duty like Modern Warfare 2019, where it was really, really quick. I don't have to go to hardcore to, you know, kill somebody very quickly. I can do that in core. But I understand not everybody likes the idea of that. You want to be able to have, you know, a longer time to fight in a gunfight. But, you know, that's, you know, up to everyone's personal opinion. I personally believe that this game is better than DMZ by quite a bit. DMZ was fun. You know, I played it when it first came out. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's a neat idea that I kind of wish they would have done more with. They had, you know, unique areas and buildings and loot and whatnot, but it just wasn't quite there, you know. The best thing you really could do was like take guns you took off other players and put it in your stash, and then just kind of keep 20 guns in there. And once you got to a certain point where you could just start bringing in loadout guns like every game, you could just wait a little bit, and then bing bada boom, you got your loadout gun back. Unless you had a couple of really bad games in a row, but for the most part, if you knew the maps and stuff and knew where people might spawn, you were gonna be okay. And it just kind of lost its luster. Like, what's the point of picking up people's weapons now if there's not real value to them? In this game, you actually have money that you have on your, like, as liquid money on your character's account on the stash. And then all your gear has value to it. You can buy and sell things on the auction house. Everything has a rarity to it, so you kind of know for the most part if you're picking up something like golden or red even, you know this is probably really, really good. You know, whether or not it's just an item that just needs to be sold, or if it's a gear piece that you found in like a flight case. Basically, everything in this game has some sort of value, and it's good that they have it this way. And it even tells you on some of them, or I'm not some of them, all of them, what is like an average value for them when you pick them up. And you get to see how much are you technically profiting right now in game. You can see your battle cost. You can see how things are going for you in the match. There's a lot of things that are quality of life in this game that just let you know if you're winning or not. And I love that with this game. It just lets you know, okay, you're doing good. Like, you're making this money, you know. And if you have a safe pockets, like a good safe box, then by all means throw that stuff in there. You know, that kind of a thing. I just love that this game feels as good as it does, considering that it's really made alongside Warfare, which is like a Battlefield-like mode. And so this is why I genuinely believe you guys should try Operations, not even just for the different characters or, you know, the gunplay. All the gear has value to it. It just feels good. Like, you're working towards something almost all the time. Whether or not it's quests, whether or not it's money. You can do all sorts of things, objectives, to improve your account or yourself. And I just like that aspect of the game. It's enjoyable to me, right? But let's go ahead and get into characters, because this is one of my favorite parts. All the characters are unique. While there is assault, support, engineer, and recon based operators, they all have a unique flavor to what they do, and none of them are fully alike in any way. There are some similarities, like for instance, the recon and engineer class, they do both have a person like Luna and Shepard, where they have frag grenades, but they're the only ones that do, right? The rest of them, there's a couple that have like smokes that are similar to each other, but that's the only similarities we have. Ultimates are all different. Ultimates are all unique. Stinger has a thing where he can just shoot people with his medical, like little, you know, syringe gun thing, and it tracks people and it heals you. It can heal you for like 10, and then it heals you for another 60 over a minute, right? Toxic has the ability to where you basically can heal almost twice as fast, you know, like, and that's not just including medical items or surgical items, that's including repair kits, you know, popping, you know, painkillers, all of it. It's sped up. to help you get into fights or stay in fights, or get back into them faster. And so it's just nice that every single one of these characters feels like they have a reason for why you're playing them, and not just because you like them or you like the way they look. Although I'm sure there's a part of that for most people. That's why they have character skins for the Sub Rosa. For those who know, cool. And then the inky one for Hatclaw. It just, you come down to what would you want to play as, or what is the best for your team composition. And it's just nice that you can come out with a team that supports each other in some way, right? Personally, I like playing healing. I've always been a Vyron main. All through Season 1, halfway through Season 3, I was playing nothing but Vyron. But I kind of realized, like, I'm only running at people, and half the time I wasn't landing, knockdown grenades, and sometimes I landed some pretty good C4s. But I wanted to do something to be a little more effective for my team, and so I play the same aggressive level, but as Stinger, and I'm able to get passive healing off all the time, or smokes to get us towards people, or even run away from people. And it's just nice that we're able to do this as a team, because I have these capabilities as a character. There's just a lot of depth to the characters. It's just fun. It's fun to play with everybody. It's fun to try to play a role and just support each other, right? And I just think you guys should give this game a chance, pretty soon. If you're not into PC, it's going to be coming out on mobile on April 21st or April 20th, depending on where you live in the world. And then several months down the road, sometime this year, it'll come out for consoles as well, which will be the first console experience to actually have a good extraction shooter on the console, right? Not just for Xbox, but PlayStation. I don't know if it's coming to Switch. I wouldn't think it would, but if it's coming to mobile, it's also possible. It's nice. I think this is such an accessible game, and I think everyone will enjoy it for what it is. What is here now is fun. It's really fun. A lot of people have dropped off because on PC there's a little too many cheaters currently, but that's not going to be the same with mobile. I don't actually believe there's even going to be like cross-play. There's cross-progression, so you can still connect your accounts to different devices and play with your friends if you really wanted to. But it's just, it's a nice experience. I think you guys should give it a try. If you don't have a PC, I'm sorry, you'll probably have to wait for mobile or console, but I think what's here is solid, and I think if they play their cards right, this could be really, really, really big. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something useful. I'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you, everybody, for stopping by and listening to my opinion. If you have a differing opinion, or, you feel the same way, let me know in the comments down below. I do talk with everybody. I try to leave a comment with every single person who leaves a comment as well, because you're the reason I make this content. It's you guys who watch and view, and, I want to have conversation with you guys. I don't want to just leave it at like, oh, well, this guy commented and I don't agree, and like, I'll comment, I'll see, whatever you guys say, I'm gonna comment back. I mean, if you're like saying some mean stuff, I'm gonna get real horny. Let us pray.